to what you think.
What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about former Duke star Gary Trent Jr. and why he's failed to make it in the NBA so far. If you love college basketball, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you love these type of videos, make sure to check out my playlist in the description below. And now let's get started with today's video. Gary Trent Jr. was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, to his father Gary Trent Sr. Trent Sr. was a famous NBA player who was also a big troublemaker. He grew up in a family plagued with crime and even murder. He'd be awoken in the middle of the night by his mother to go sell drugs before the school day even began. He went on to play for Ohio University, where he was nicknamed the Shaq of the MAC and would eventually become a lottery pick. After a long NBA career, he settled down to start a family, and that's where the subject of today's video begins. Gary Trent Jr. was also born in Columbus, Ohio, but instead of crime, he grew up in a nice home with a nice family. His father promised to never let his 4 kids go through what he went through, so they didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff, and Gary could just solely focus on basketball. Eventually, the family moved to Apple Valley, Minnesota, where he would attend Apple Valley High School. Because of his dad, Gary's name was already on a lot of scouts' radar, but his play in high school helped elevate both his name and his game to the next level. As a sophomore, he won Minnesota's Gatorade Player of the Year, and Trent was becoming the next big thing. After a stellar junior year, he decided to take his game to the next level and transfer to Prolific Prep in California to play against better competition and grow his brand name even more. When it came to recruiting, Gary strongly considered 3 schools: UCLA, Michigan State, and Duke. He ultimately chose to become a Blue Devil because of Duke's tradition and Coach K's ability to make him a better basketball player and a better man. Trent was one of the top players in the class of 2017, as he was a 5-star recruit, a McDonald's All-American, and a number 17 overall recruit. Joining Trent in the 2017 class was Marvin Bagley, Trayvon Duval, Wendell Carter, and Alex O'Connell, while the already returned 3-year starter and captain Grayson Allen. Duke had a lot of hype surrounding them as they were expected to make the Final Four and began the season ranked number 1 in the country. They opened up the season with a 4-0 record, including a win over number 2 Michigan State, before heading to the PK80 tournament. The Blue Devils would win all 3 games in the tournament and take home the PK80 trophy, but Trent wasn't the star of the team. Duke would head into ACC play with an 11-0 record, while also maintaining the number 1 ranking. Surprisingly, with Duke would really struggle to beat teams that were better than them. Despite 25 points from Trent, Duke lost their first ACC game on the road to Boston College. Even though they lost, Trent was becoming one of the primary options on the team, as he scored in double figures in 17 of their next 20 games. Just a few games after a weird loss to NC State, Trent dropped a career-high 30 points in a win against number 25 Miami. After a loss to Virginia, Duke went on to lose 2 of their next 3 games to North Carolina and St. John's, before finishing the season 6-1 with a loss to Virginia Tech. Going into the ACC tournament, they boasted a 25-6 record and were a top 5 team. They beat Notre Dame in the first round before they lost to North Carolina in the second round. Duke went on to become a number 2 seed in the NCAA tournament though. After beating Iona in the first round, they took care of Rhode Island and Syracuse to advance to the Elite 8. They were set to face Kansas, and it was one of the best games of the season. With just a few ticks remaining, Grayson Allen threw up a potential game-winning shot, but after spending eternity on their back iron, it fell short and they were headed for overtime. Unfortunately for Duke, Malik Newman had the game of his life, and they were headed home. On the year, Trent started all 37 games and averaged 14.5 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 1 steal a game, while also shooting 40% from behind the arc. After a solid freshman campaign, Trent declared for the 2018 NBA draft and signed with an agent. He was considered a good athlete who had great size for the wing position and was also a great shooter. He was extremely streaky, had poor ball handling skills, and struggled to score inside the 3-point line, so he was projected to become a late first-round pick. He ended up falling a little further than scouts expected and was drafted with the 37th overall pick by the Sacramento Kings, but his rights were later traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. After a strong summer league performance, Trent was signed to the main roster and was ready to start his NBA career. After riding the bench, Gary appeared in his first game against the Timberwolves and scored his first career basket. After a few stints in the G League, there was a lot of uncertainty with how his NBA career was going to play out. A few weeks later, he had an incredible G League run and was called back up to the main roster. Despite the media calling for more minutes, Gary did not appear in many games and struggled to see time on the floor. In his final game of his rookie year, he dropped a career-high 19 points against the Kings and went out on a high note. Thankfully for Trent, the Trailblazers kept him around for another season, but he hasn't gotten much of an opportunity once again. He's only scored in double figures once this season, and his minutes per game have only slightly increased. Overall, I think Trent can be a good player in the NBA, but he just needs a team to give him a real chance. The Trailblazers are in title mode, so I don't think it's the place for him. If he were to be traded to a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers, New York Knicks, or even the Golden State Warriors, I think he would have a better chance to play some meaningful minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure to hit that like button, and check out all my other videos either on the screen or in the description below. Peace.